In my childhood home, there was a piece of graph paper taped to a window above a short staircase, and just good old graph paper like you would have in school. It contained this sprite of Yoshi. I had manually filled it in using markers, and it was up there for months, if not years. So I thought I would jump into Sprite Pixels and do it again for the first time in a very long time and contemplate this very defining sprite. Super Mario World's Yoshi was Yoshi's first appearance, I think it's safe to say. Legends say that he was supposed to be some kind of a beaked dinosaur, possibly, or something that could fly, and maybe would have been in an early Mario game. But he certainly made it into Super Mario World. And unlike... no, birds can be adorable. I was going to say, unlike a bird, Yoshi is adorable. And he certainly was one of the most adorable things to be in a Mario game to that point. This sprite, the head is a 16 by 16 sprite. The body fits within 16 by 16 pixels too. And I know these days there are incredible gaming reverse engineers and enthusiasts who know how all of this was laid down in memory. Yoshi could have been drawn within a 32 by 32 square, I'm sure, and stored that way. But it seems possible from what I'm finding that he wasn't. He might just have been two 16 by 16 tiles which were kind of moved and slotted together. So that's how I'm going to do him. Okay. Sprite Pixels is my own pixel art creation tool, and I want to keep using it while I keep working on it. So that's part of why I'm doing these regular videos, and why you're graced by my incredible company. Thank you for joining me. This is a pretty quick one. I am using a reference image, by the way. I'm certainly not doing this from memory. Although, if you're really in love with a sprite, it's conceivable that you could do them from memory, I'm sure. I think there has been the occasional sprite that I've thrown down from memory. For example, the solution to the fireplace puzzle in Myst, I think I can call that up from memory. Okay, hang on before I move on here. I think that's the head done. This entire sprite, 3 shades of green, 1 shade of red, 1 shade of orange, and white and black. 7 colors. And maybe that's because the 8th color would have been the transparent color? So would it be typical for sprites in Super Mario World to have 8 colors or power of 2? I'm not sure exactly what the rules were on the SNES either. But learning and thinking about all those constraints on the SNES and the NES, that many of which probably encouraged the art of the game to be not just the visual art, but the game design and so on, to come out the way it was. It's really wonderful to learn about. And it's a great encourager, a great promoter of the idea that constraints can be creatively enabling. If you're doing anything, if you're composing, writing, sculpting, doing choreographing a dance, coming up with some kind of a constraint can really foster some interesting creative decisions. Let's see. Yoshi's belly has always been white and all the way back under his tail, as well as the rim of the saddle. And in the game, his hands are orange. I don't know why. I don't think they're even orange in the instruction manual. Maybe it was just to distinguish things. Pixel art from this era can look like a real cluster of meaninglessness when you're zoomed in this much. That's quite fascinating, isn't it? You zoom out and then it makes a lot more sense. But that is partially why in this app I was sure to prioritize a mini view like this little guy on the bottom right here. So you can always just glance over and kind of see what things look like zoomed out without having to zoom out. 1 pixel of shine on the boot. And this is exposed leg. I always draw his boots with a bit of a lip when I do draw Yoshi. Soon after the game came out, I taught myself kind of a version of Yoshi to draw freehand. And I've used it constantly. I'm not sure if these 2 pixels are white or transparent above the saddle here, right there. I'm going to leave them transparent. And I think that might be the bottom sprite done. So all we need to do now is put him together. So let's grab the bottom. Let's move it to about here. I'm not going to be too picky about this. Let's move it down 1 pixel. Oh, and it looks like we have 1 pixel there to fill in. And then the head. Let's make sure we get the top of the eye in there. So how do these lock together exactly? I thought it was like this initially. And I even looked online to confirm, and somebody had cross-stitched this pattern, which is a wonderful thing to do with pixel art, of course. They had done it like this, but I think it's actually like this, where he's leaning a bit forward, and his spike protrudes like that. So it kind of made me go, oh no, on behalf of the cross-stitcher when I realized that. I think that is correct. And of course, there are other frames of animation where he's more varied and so on. But there is Yoshi from Super Mario World. He made his entrance this way. And ever since, he has evoked meaning and feeling. Oh, one little mistake. Right here on the back of the tail. Boop. I think that is a medium green. So thank you for joining me. I'm Steve, and this was Sprite Pixels. If you're interested in Sprite Pixels, it is available on the App Store. The link is associated with the video. And I'll see you next time.